live on YouTube. Let me see if I can get this live on. Did it work? Yo, hey, how's it going, Brittany? Hold on. This is like my first time, like actually setting up like the whole stream by myself for whatever reason. Facebook isn't going through. All right, we might just be live on YouTube and Twitch. All right, so Facebook's not happening. So let me shoot Megan the link here, and we'll get her in. So hey guys, welcome back to Ridiculous Radio. I'm your host Conrad. Normally we have like Josh and Keith somewhere like on the screen, but Josh is running a little bit late, and Keith's still working like crazy. So hopefully next week it's gonna be a little bit better. I think we're gonna try and shoot for a double stream next week with GR Bliss from Retic Life and Mike Clarkson. So hopefully those work out. But it's been a real crazy week. We just really got started back on our mow route pretty heavily. So like I had like no time to prepare today. It was super cool. Got home very late. Other than that, it's been a real hectic year. So we'll give Megan a moment. How's everyone doing tonight? Oh, there we are. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Normally Josh and Keith are here with us, but pretty good. What about you?
Oh, I can't complain.
Normally we have Josh and Keith here with us, but Josh told me he's running like a little bit late. He should be joining in sometime soon though. And Keith, unfortunately, like working.
They are a bunch of slackers.
It happens.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, everyone's got pretty crazy lives, especially this year. Like everything's now opening back up, and it's been real. I don't know how that's affected you with your business at all.
So I've just been working from home, thankfully. So I've been able to stay employed while this is going on, which is, nice. I can't complain. But it gets tiresome sometimes being stuck at home all day long. So just learn to deal.
I definitely feel that. So I guess we can start off with like the typical questions.
Sure.
So what got you started into reptiles, like the hobby and everything?
So I was always the type of kid that when I found animals outside, I always wanted to bring them home. So I would bring home baby birds, baby bunnies, baby everything, because, those are the ones that you can catch. I was never into reptiles then, per se. I just didn't know anything about them. None of my friends were into them. So it really wasn't until later in life, like in my 20s, that I moved out and got my own apartments, and of course wasn't allowed any type of dog or cat. So I wanted something that, I could have as a pet. And so I started looking for things, and I've always been the kind of person where I like the weird stuff, like, or the stuff that people are more apt to not like I have a pit bull for a dog. I have the things that push push people into uncomfortableness because I want to show them that it's not always what they feel it is. So I've owned pits for most of my adult life. And then I got my very first snake because it was self-contained in a container. And of course, at that time, I didn't know any better and actually ended up getting another ball python at the time and cohabbed them because, you know, when you don't have any, and this was, you know, back before Google and stuff was around. So nobody really had information unless you knew people. And I didn't know anyone at the time. So
I mean, my science teacher in high school was actually co-having ball pythons.
yeah, because you know, you don't know any different, and you know, nobody was around that I knew at the time that told me otherwise. So, you know, I had two in a tank. You know, this big tank that I had. It was, you know, probably a 40-gallon long, and just didn't know any better. And then I eventually moved in with my daughter's father, and when I left to come back home, my mom said absolutely not in her house, not ever. She was totally against it. So I left them with him. And then it was like 2 or 3 years later after that, I really wanted to get a snake again. So I went to the Pittsburgh Reptile Show for the very first time when I found out about it. And I had, God, let's see, I'm trying to think how long ago it was. I think it was like 8 years ago. So I was just looking for just something simple, nothing crazy. I didn't have a ton of money to spend, and I knew I had to get, you know, caging, and, you know, that's all expensive. So I was walking around and I stopped at Rick Kermine's table, and he had a male het pied ball python for $50. And I really liked the look of him. So he got him out, and I was handling him and everything. And he went right down my shirt. And Rick looked at me and he says, either you're taking him home or I'm getting slugged getting him off of you. He's like, you have to choose. So I ended up taking him home. And actually, I still have him to this day. Like, there are times I'm like, man, I could move him, and, you know, because I don't use him for breeding. I don't, you know, he's just here, and he has a great life. But, you know, I'm always like, man, that's a tub space to be using. But I can't bring myself with him. So he's still here after all these years, still kicking and, you know, living it up. And he's got, I call it the high rise rack. He's got the top level, so he's in the penthouse. But yeah, so then probably a year after that, I didn't know what het pied meant or anything about genetics really with ball pythons. And I think it was a year after that, I looked up what pied meant, and I saw pieds for the very first time. And I was like, oh my God, I need one of those, like, need it. So I started, at that time was when the internet started to really catch on, and I started researching people and breeders, and I came across Dave Green Reptiles out in Phoenix, Arizona. And he had a beautiful female pied for sale. And at that time they were $750. And I was like, Jesus, I don't have $750. So I messaged him and I was like, look, I really love this snake. You know, I do have some experience. I'm not coming just from somebody that this would be their first snake ever. Is there any way that you could, like, work with me? You know, and we had some emails back and forth. He's awesome. He's very chatty, which I actually enjoy that with a lot of breeders. You know, there are some that I've dealt with that are just very straightforward. You know, they're shoot from the hip. This is the price. If I want to do a deal with you, I'll do a deal with you. If not, then I'm moving on. Dave was extremely kind, extremely chatty. We had long paragraph emails back and forth, and he was like, you know what? He's like, send me $200. And he's like, and as long as you keep paying on her, he's like, I'll send her to you when you're done paying her off. And literally, like, every paycheck, before I even, like, paid anything, I would send him 100, 150, you know, whatever I could afford that week, I'd send it out to him. And then I think it was 4 months later, he sent her to me, and I was hooked ever since. And that's when I got her. I was like, I have to make these on my own. You know, I definitely want to see making pieds one day. And she's actually my company mascot. Like, she's on my logo and stuff. So
that's the snake I know.
Yeah, that's the snake on my logo. She's my crown jewel. I don't think, and I mean, she's not anything fancy. She's just a simple pied, but she was the exact, she, in her face, her eye stripes connect into her neck and then go down a good portion of her neck. And that was her selling point to me. Like, as soon as I saw that pattern, I was like, that's the pied that I want. So she's my company and a mascot. I've had her, oh my God.
If you want, you can show her off.
Yeah, she's actually, let me see. Oh my goodness. She's
I mean, most of the time we hit people on like 2 days after they fed or something, you know.
So this is her. So you can see that.
Oh, man. Yeah,
there's
she's
her long ass stripe on her neck. So
yeah.
She's a mid white. She's got her whole tail done too. I actually kind of prefer, I used to really like high white pieds, but she's actually a mid, and I've come to actually like mids a lot more. Because
they just have more pattern to them than
you get more pattern. I do have a really high white pied, and I just like, I love her. I love pieds. I will probably one day have a rack full of pieds. She's just not my favorite, you know. I get my mids out, like, oh my goodness. And then, you know, everybody always wants to see this one, because this is the one that I made that shouldn't really exist, because lesser pieds are usually all white. And this guy came out with a whole bunch of color.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just.
So he's what I think he's a lesser Enchi leopard pied. He's pretty awesome. He shouldn't exist.
There you go.
And everybody's like fascinated with him, because they're like, how does he have all that color? And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I just hatched him. I don't understand the genetics thing, like how it all works. So, you know. So then I was about 10 snakes deep, you know, kind of sort of preparing for my projects, and looking for a feeder source. And I had a really good friend at the time. He was into venomous back then, and he introduced me to Jim Powers, who's out in West Mifflin. And he was my feeder guy for quite some time. And then we got into some breeding loans and breeding projects, and we did a partnership for a while. And he taught me a great deal. Very, very knowledgeable, very smart. So, you know, and from there, I mean, I basically hadn't done clutches until I met him. So then once he showed me the whole step and process of breeding, that's kind of where it took off. And now I'm upwards of 80 snakes, I think, total, including some side projects and some fun stuff too that I have that, like, you know, I'll probably never breed, but it's fun to kick around. So, or it's fun to have them. I love colubrids, but they poop all the time. So I don't think I could ever have I don't know how people who do colubrids do 24/7, because it's just horrible. My king snake, he goes, and I'm just
never like personally. I mean, I've kept, like, back when I was a kid, I've kept like some native colubrids for a while, like milk snakes, and then I re-released them. But I've always stuck with pythons. I don't know. It's just I don't like being musked on.
Yeah,
I love herping. I don't like being musked on. It's just like the most horrid smell in the world.
Oh, and it like your skin like absorbs it, and you're like, I swear to God, I washed my hands like 15 times. Like my skin's dry.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where is this still coming from? But yeah, I don't know how people
I
deal
clean
with
my
that too.
retail cages barehanded. I don't have a problem with that. But
Right. Yeah,
yeah.
right. So
So
I
Todd
do have
Cucinato says, "Hey Megan," and Jamie Cadil said, "Beautiful snake."
oh, thank you. Yeah, so
So,
let's see. I have a couple carpets. I have a couple boas. I have a couple colubrids. I have some retics. I do have retics. So no mainlands though. I refuse
yeah.
to get a mainland because I'm like, one, I really don't have the cage space for a mainland when it's full size. And you know, it's tough. If they do get on the larger end of things, then managing it just one person is a good bit, you know, to handle by yourself. So I just was like, you know what, if I'm gonna get retics, it'll be either be dwarves or super dwarves. And
And I mean, they're still fun. I mean,
oh god, yeah. Like my
it's
dwarf,
super.
I love my dwarf. I love my dwarf retic. He's a derp. Like every time I open his tub, he always bites the top bar, you know, that comes across the rack that he's in. He always bites it. And I'm just like, dude, like we haven't learned yet that that's not weird. He's every time I'm like, well, all right. So
Yeah, my
he is a bit of a derp, but I absolutely love him. If you get the hard center line down a retic's head, that's a good selling point for me where I'm like, oh, I have to have that. So
yeah, my super dwarf male has the same issue. No matter
okay.
when I slide open up the cage doors, he's just always right there, ready to eat.
Right on it.
Yeah, I've been a little too close a few times, but
Oh yeah. Yeah, and like that's the whole thing. Like people are always like, "Oh, ball pythons aren't fun and whatnot." I just got lit up by one of my ball pythons the other night. I'm like, some of them when I open their tubs, like I gotta be just as careful as feeding a retic because they're on it like no one's tomorrow. So
I can promise I've been bit by more ball pythons in my life.
yeah, right. Because I think I think also people are like, oh, it's a ball python. Like, we won't expect it. And then you open it and you get bit and you're like, oh, well, that's fantastic. And I
It
mean,
happens.
yeah. And I've just been really fortunate this whole entire process that I've met some great people. I've met Scott Hollabaugh, who owns Iceman Reptiles, who does educational programs, which I mean, his educational programs are just phenomenal. Like watching him going or working with mentally challenged people, really young kids, people that are very afraid of snakes, watching him have that interaction in a couple of the local places around here where I've been fortunate enough to see his shows, that's always just so impressive. And he's so patient with people, especially people with mental retardation, like to allow them to experience that just because they're different is just fantastic. I'm good friends with Amanda from the Pittsburgh Reptile Show. She's fantastic. I'm good friends with Tom Kelly. Him and I have become really close, and I absolutely love him. He's just an amazing person. I don't know how he does all that he does with his gem show and the reptile show, and then he breeds his own rodents and has a million snakes. So I don't know how that man does everything that he does. So I've made some really great friends. I'm good friends with Josh and Keith and talk to them pretty often. I've actually sold a couple animals, one that absolutely kills me to this day. I had a female Guyana boa, and I sold her to Josh, and it kills me every time he sends me pictures of her. I'm like, oh, why did I sell her? So, but yeah.
He was actually telling me, like he said, he's helped out Scott at a couple of his shows even, and
Okay.
everyone just has nothing but good to say about Scott.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great person. Really, really great person. And, you know, I've been to other shows, you know, animal shows and stuff, and, you know, they are educational, but Scott really gives a very interactive experience. You know, he walks through a crowd, you know, gives people a chance to really touch and, you know, he's always very mindful. He doesn't want people to touch if they really don't want to. That's actually one of his rules. You know, he's like, don't grab somebody's hand and make them do it. If they want to do it, then they can do it. But yeah, he's a great at what he does. Like, he was meant to do that. So.
Yeah, and that's always good to see you when like.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Josh has been trying to work something out to get him on here, but you know how busy he is, you know.
Yeah, I know. He's so, it's hard to nail him down. Hey, don't eat off the floor, dog. That's the only bad thing. When I'm in my reptile room, if there's Reptichip on the floor, my dog eats it. He's like, I'll take care of that for you.
That's awesome.
Come here.
That must be fun coming out.
There he is. Hi, baby.
Hey.
Hi.
Yeah. See, I'm in love with like the pit bull and bulldog breeds and everything.
Yeah. He stole my heart because I absolutely love black and white animals. I'm like obsessed with them. I have a black and white cat. I have a black and white dog. I want to make panda pies because they're black and white. So as soon as I saw him, he had a black and white sister and then a brindle sister. And I was like, no, I really want a boy dog. So he's the one that.
Yeah.
It actually was for my daughter because my daughter said she wanted a dog and somehow he's mine. Stop. Well, then eat the
I feel that. So what have been like some of your favorite projects?
Oh God. You know, of course, Pied's always going to be a top. I did get into the Stranger Project. So I got into that about 3 years ago, and was it maybe it's 4 years now. God, time is flying. Anyways, I got into it, and I've had 2 successful clutches, very small clutches, but you know, 2 clutches nonetheless. My first clutch, I actually had 3 strangers, combos, but strangers. And then my clutch last season, I hatched this girl, who is quite possibly my chair.
Oh, you're good.
This is her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's freaking awesome. I absolutely love her. Wait, this way. There we go. There she is. That's much better. Her color, I mean, even this lighting in here is terrible, but she's so freaking yellow and just continues to get yellower as she ages. So,
now is she gonna be a holdback then? That you plan on?
You know what? For right now, she is actually not a holdback, but because it's a new product, her price tag's pretty up there. You're looking at around probably around 7,000.
What would that be, just in case they
7,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, but she's a Enchi Fire Pastel Stranger 100% het clown. So I mean, you're looking at
so with the strangers, I'm familiar with like the Enchis. So Stranger's a whole new morph to me. I've never heard of this besides.
Okay. Here, I will show you. I'll show you a single gene male so that you can see what the single gene looks like. Oh goodness. So that's a single gene. You can see it kind of floats the pattern, kind of pushes it up.
Yep.
And he's got like almost a
Yeah,
caramel
and it's
color.
almost like
Yeah, so
it almost looks like if someone were to spill like a liquid over like something that stains very easily.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
like that diminished like kind of background pattern. Yeah,
Right.
really pops out. It's
Yeah, I love it. I think, the door is very wide open for that project. I mean, there's a lot more in the project now, but I still think it's only 20 breeders or less have strangers right now. Justin Kabilka has it. I know that Lance from Straight Fire has it. Jason Amos has it. Deb from Northern Regis has it. So it is making its rounds. I think when the price point comes down a little bit more to around 1,500 to 2,000, a lot more people will jump on it. Last year we were asking 8 to 9 for strangers, and that's hard to ask somebody for that amount of money.
yeah.
So,
But there are people who, they're
Oh,
willing
yeah.
to throw down that money just to get on board
Right.
with that project,
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you want to be in the forefront of it and start making things that people haven't seen yet, then yeah, you got to jump in on it and spend some cash and hope that it's a good investment. So, I took the leap and hoping that I can make some really cool things with it. I got some plans that's one thing everybody always wants to know what my stranger plans are. That's the one that I will not talk about. I never talk about my breedings with my strangers.
I don't blame you.
It's always on the DL.
So do you
get laid?
So what do you think, say, really like underappreciated more?
Underappreciated. I would probably have to say what I'm working with would probably be the special gene, but that's starting to gain some fire. That's starting to, it's starting to really hit hard in pied combos and make these really funky animals. So of course, I'm starting to throw it to pied stuff because I love pieds. So why not? I think it's very underappreciated. Gosh, I don't know. Probably that's the one I would say in my whole entire collection that I can think of that's underappreciated. There are people that don't like hypo all that much, but that seems to be getting traction more with the dark morphs, which I think hypo works better with dark morphs because it gives them this real nice matte gray color. Especially, I mean, the darker you get, the more nice matte gray color that you get. And like my one female here that I have that's a hypo combo, she changes anywhere from like a matte gray to sometimes she'll have almost a purple undertone, depending on mood, shed cycle. Like, there's a whole bunch of like mitigating factors that changes the way that she looks. So I think that's also underappreciated sometimes, but it's getting traction because of the dark morphs and it works so well with them.
All right. So what projects are you breeding those, or are those just for you to keep?
Wait, you cut.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Are you breeding colubrids, or are you just are those just?
So I don't have any plans to breed colubrids. I do love Okatee corn snakes. I do have a male who's sitting right behind me. But they have to be that real rich red. Like there are some brown Okatees that like the Miami phase. I like the real rich red ones. They're sometimes people will call them Halloween or extreme Okatees. Those are the ones I typically tend to gravitate to. So I have been looking for a female to possibly just do like a pairing. I probably would get into Mexican Black Kings, but I don't have any of those. I actually I reached out to Mike over at Basically Boas because I know that he has some Mexican Black Kings for sale. So I did email him. I haven't heard back from him, but I mean, that's typical with Mike. He usually responds within a do, so I'm not like, oh my God, he didn't answer me, you know? So that's something that I would be interested in. But otherwise than that, colubras are great, but like I said, they're just so messy. So messy. And like you said, they musk. So it's like, I don't want to deal with it. And if you don't handle them on a daily, not a daily basis, but if you don't get them used to human interaction, then they musk you all the time. Like my king snake, when I first got him, I do have a striped king. When I first got him, he musked me all the time. So then I started getting him out 3-4 times a week for half an hour and just, handling him. And now he doesn't do it. He still does the cute little tail rattle that I absolutely love that he does, but he doesn't musk anymore, which thankfully he stopped that because it was irritating. Like, I'm like, dude, I don't want you to pee on my hands every time I get you out. Like, it's annoying. So I do have an Angolian that I'll probably end up breeding.
One second, someone's at the door.
What?
So you have an Angolian.
I do have an Angolian that I'll probably breed. I'm trying to think what else I have. Gosh, I just have a lot of like mismatched stuff. Like both my retics are males. Usually if I'm not going to breed them, then I always get them in males because, you can keep males on a more smaller size. The only non-male that I do have a big, she's not that big, but I do have a decent sized T-positive blood python that I absolutely love. She was a birthday present many a moon ago. And I absolutely love her. She's awesome. She's one where I hold a snake all day long. I don't feel like having my boa with me, then I take her because she's awesome.
Yeah. So she's pretty relaxed,
Oh yeah. She's a talker. She hisses a lot, but she's never tried to bite. Like not once.
That's always when I was thinking about getting into blood pythons or getting one. Just looking into them, and I mean, they sound like fun because like I've seen so many videos of people just pulling them out, and they're all cool, and then they just strike out of nowhere. I'm like, well, that would be.
It is. You know what? It's between my blood python and my doomerol boa. They have probably the fastest strikes, and it's out of nowhere. Like normally with ball pythons, like they'll S up and everything like that. It seems like my blood python will almost be sleeping, and then all of a sudden it's like, she hits like a ton of bricks. I mean, I usually don't even jump anymore. She always gets me to jump because she just hits so hard. And I'm just like, man, if he ever does bite me, I'm getting lit up.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just because they're built to be ambush predators, kind of like the gaboon viper, they're just fat, short, stocky snakes. Yeah, so when it comes by, they got to be quick,
Yeah, so I'm sure that's probably why.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of what we already touched on and what we did.
It's okay.
Normally, Josh is like there, key to like help like add into the conversation. Sure, yeah. So it doesn't like, you know what I mean? Do you have any projects that you do want to share that you're working on currently, besides like what we had tides and these strange?
I had a really light season this past season. I went through some personal things in January, and just it took a really bad toll on me. So I basically shut down breeding after that happened. Some of my girls still went. I do have 2 clutches in the incubator. I think my pied that I showed you, my big girl, she's actually going to go. I did start recently breeding her again, and she is locking, and now she's off food, so there's a possibility that she could still go. But I did a hypo black pastel Mojave to hypo. They always sell because hypo black pastels are just insane. And my pair that I have kick out incredible babies. And then I did do a OD Orange Dream yellow tied to a special female. So I'll be looking for a bunch of holdbacks from that clutch, obviously, because of the het pied that I'll want to move into. Hey, there's the guys.
There they are.
There they are.
Well, I can't hear them.
It helps if I turn the mic on.
Yeah, that usually helps.
I didn't take any time to set anything up.
Nope.
What?
She like disappears in your computer.
We could turn the green screen off. Hold on.
I don't even think that's it.
It is.
I think it's relating. But yeah, this is what took us so long. So if wherever
You picked it up, huh?
well, Alex did.
Oh, man. Oh, really?
We just got back from
Man. Nice.
All right.
Well, sweet.
Yeah, we're running a little bit late.
What
Wait
is
a
that,
minute.
like hypo granite or something?
Hypo granite. And as far as we know, I don't
Hypo
find
granite,
out. It's so weird. I never know where the camera.
I was doing that earlier too, Josh. I'm like, I don't know where. Yeah, you just gotta do the around. Like,
You're more
You gotta go like the opposite direction.
I know, because you think it's like over here, and then you're like, wait, no, I gotta.
The opposite.
You can just put that.
You guys can continue your conversation.
Yeah. Actually, I was running dry on topics because you guys weren't here.
Yeah.
Because normally I have like at least one of you to chime in too. And like we already touched like an hour's worth of shit in like 35 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah, it goes quick.
Hold on.
But she was talking about the sale that she made. Yeah, fashionably late, Jamie says.
The what?
Jamie said you guys are fashionably late.
Fashionably late.
It's a good song. Why can't I find? Hold on.
Oh boy.
I'll get there.
She was talking about that guana that she told you guys that she absolutely regrets.
Yes,
Yeah.
Josh has her.
It happened.
I know. He sends me pictures, and I'm like,
What did you post today?
huh?
You posted, was that today? I don't know. You know how Facebook timeline works and it's never in order. There was a picture that
that's
you posted today of one that you said wouldn't come out of a ball.
I don't. Are you sure that was me?
I hope so. Who else would it have been? Maybe it was. Maybe was that Jamie? Maybe.
See,
I
it wasn't
don't
even me.
That was Jamie.
Was it?
Way to be.
Yeah, she just said that was me.
Okay. See you guys later.
Gold star for you, Keith.
Shows how much I pay attention.
All right. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Wait, is that Alex in the background?
And Alex
It is.
and Emma over here.
Take her.
Oh my goodness.
Hi.
We got the whole party in here.
Party.
Hold on.
Oh,
That's like we see.
here, go ahead.
Jamie's over there. Huh?
Here,
Party.
sit down.
It's a party.
Sit down.
Like this. Not the snake. Get off the back.
You're 100% sure that that's
Oh, shit.
just Shauna's freaking out.
Let me see. Yeah, it's either a corn or a fox. I like corn.
There you go.
Oh, hi, by the way. I'm here.
So I've been having trouble going live to Facebook. It just won't let me. I thought I've gotten everything right.
Sure, Josh.
Something's wrong.
Oh, come on, focus.
The color
Focus.
could be a fox. The pattern.
Eastern milk snake.
Milk.
East,
It's not a
I can't see the head, but it looks like a milk snake.
Isn't milk snakes usually more reddish?
Not
No,
always.
no, they vary in color. They vary in color.
I don't know. The milk snakes and corn snakes and fox snakes always confuse me. They all look the same to me.
So,
Yeah, well, that's because they pretty much are.
Yeah. Can never
Like,
tell
let's
the
just call a spade a spade.
they're all
You know,
hybrids.
somebody somewhere, their head is exploding. They're like, they're not the same.
But they look the
I'm
same.
just waiting for
Yeah,
comments.
I know.
That's like my rat snakes. They used to be considered.
To an extent.
So wait, you still didn't figure out how to go live
Okay.
on Facebook?
Better-
What?
No, so
Let me see if I
I
can
spent
include-
an hour trying to.
There we go. Don't break your
My
chair.
chair.
I spent an hour trying to figure out how to go live on Facebook. Okay, and I thought I changed everything. I'm like, oh, perfect. So I hit start recording, and it said something went wrong, and it didn't tell me. It said like I needed a. Jamie says, and rat snakes. Speaking of rat snakes and looking alike, my roommate swears my Anri golden child reticulated python is rats.
It totally is.
He won't even hold it. He'll hold Buttercup because she looks cool.
I think
He's my
it's
normal retail, but he won't hold my Henry Golden because it looks like a
Hold on.
because it looks like a rat snake.
I don't remember my rat snakes at all. Oh yeah.
No. Sit.
Everyone's just busting out.
It makes sense because I bought this from her. Look how big she is.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
She's looking good.
Yeah, she is.
You gonna be doing a show coming up?
Yeah, actually, I will more than, you mean the 5th at the Harmer House?
Yeah. Is it just
Yeah, I'll be there.
7.
Okay.
7th, what, something? I don't know.
Brad's
The day, listen, I will wake up,
I
somebody
know
will
we
tell
go green
me.
on the 5th.
It'll be the 7th.
Okay. Well, you know what? When it happens, somebody will wake me up that morning, say, you're supposed to be here, and I'll show up.
That's what happened to me today. It was like 8:15. I had one of my employees call me and was like, I don't know who's supposed to open the store today, but I'm here. And I'm like, oh shit, that's me.
You're like, I'm sorry, I'm stuck in traffic. I will be there shortly.
Right.
Oh, traffic.
Did they finally hire another manager in so you're not like working 100 hours a week or something?
Yeah, there is 2 new people. However, new being the key word. So I have to train them. But yeah, I am scheduled for more time off now. But I'm also picking up hours at another store. So
Wait, you like cut out for a second, but it finished what you were saying. It worked out.
So it'll be fun times, lots of work.
Are you gonna move to Robinson still or no?
We talked about this.
Well, you
yesterday,
said it was
man.
an option. It's been like a couple days, so I figured
Possibly
maybe.
an option. I'm
Things
still
change fast.
yes, I'm still going to Robinson.
Oh, you're near me then, Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually live in, I work in the industrial park up behind the Marriott. Well, it used to be a Marriott, but it's up in the, oh my God.
Hey, is it off tomorrow?
RIDC Park.
Oh, RIDC.
Yeah, thank you. RIDC Park. I'm up there.
I used to work at Thermo Fisher.
That's where I work now.
Really? Well, I worked in the building. I cleaned out everybody's garbage cans, but it was good times.
I cleaned out everyone's garbage cans.
Anyway, that wasn't as bad as it
They
sounds.
actually pay someone to do that.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
hired a janitorial company which is what I worked for. But it paid decent. We worked like 5 hours a day, and I would just walk around the floor and talk to all the people trying to sell stuff. Like, it wasn't that bad.
I don't think enough.
So
I don't like being confined in buildings. I don't.
the what?
I don't like being confined in buildings like all day.
I don't like being outside in humidity.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Keith. I'm not doing that.
Nope.
No, throw me in the word something.
Had enough of that.
I'd rather be
So what's new with you guys? Keith, you haven't been with us for like 2 weeks.
All I did was work and sleep for 2 weeks. That was it.
Yeah.
What's funny is her weight's like bobbling in my head.
How's the Dune rolls?
Good.
Good.
It's good. She's still at Josh's.
She's on a diet.
She's on a diet.
Are you putting her on a treadmill? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, basically.
Yep, she runs 10 miles a day.
Could you imagine going to somebody's house and somebody's snake is just like on their treadmill and they're like, what?
I got asked a question the other day. It was like on the spot, so I didn't know how to answer it. But someone asked me how far snakes travel.
How far?
Watch out the snake.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm like 100% sure that's my
It's real wet.
How far away your dishwasher is.
Very true.
Yeah.
I would think it would be relative to like food and everything like that. Like,
Probably. Most animals don't travel very far.
yeah.
He's wet.
I don't
Even
know.
though deer walk like miles a day, but they still don't go more than like
Yeah, they just do circles.
miles. Yeah, they just do big circles.
Is it bears?
I was wrong.
There's one animal that will just keep going and going and going and going.
Alex should know that.
Wait, what are you talking about?
What animal just keeps traveling?
What animal doesn't actually have territory? Like, deer stay in a certain area.
Oh boy.
I know like coyotes travel through states, but they always take the same path like every year or something like that.
Yeah, it says coyotes rotate like their hunting grounds every so often.
Yeah.
We'll have like a few months where you'll hear them like in our backyard, basically like every night. I'll go away from them.
Around.
I don't know. I guess elephants. They never stay in one spot.
We're talking about local.
You didn't say that. You said animals.
He's kind of got you there, Keith.
Deer stay.
I think
I saw this thing, if you shake your cat like this, it'll get longer.
What? What?
Why are you trying to?
Why are you shaking my?
He is. He is longer. You're wiggling out the. What are they?
Deer maybe, but they'll like stay in a spot for like a year, and then like
Did you see that?
males
Look at
will
his
like
legs.
try to find her.
yeah, let's look at it.
There's some humans that.
What?
He loves
He loves it. He's purring.
it. He loves it. Yeah, but
Probably does.
like a legitimate hug.
He's like half.
Anyone in the comments know how far they travel?
The only cat bigger than mine.
It does kind of look
Snakes.
like I am strangling him on camera, but I'm
He's
loving
loving
him.
Let's see. What else is new? We
You guys got a large cat too. Sweet.
Yeah, he's huge.
Yeah, I have one of those too.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do?
Nine of these.
See, that's all my mom has. She has like 3 of those. They get huge. Like they get they're a cat.
Just fucking piss when I go back in the back.
Like them tiger cats, they just get like very good
Yeah.
size.
Trying to get out.
Yeah.
Like they need treadmills. I swear.
Mine definitely needs a treadmill for sure.
Yeah.
She's fun.
Talking about animals on
I
treadmills.
think
Yeah.
they make treadmills for cats and dogs.
Wait. Alana got an axolotl.
Oh,
That's,
Oh yeah, finally.
Yeah, we got it.
Nice.
Alex got a scorpion.
ugh.
I got a motorcycle.
Do you have
Oh,
Like the scorpion, and I didn't think I would.
What?
Can I get that splinter?
I don't even know if it's a splinter.
That's
Can I
funny.
get it out?
Later.
She's over here. She's like, oh my god.
There's too much going on in this room right now.
Yep.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
So I'm trying to figure out which animals travel without borders, basically.
I know. Well, you get longer too.
There is one, at least one that's pretty local to us, I think.
What?
You know the answer or something?
No, I don't. I can't think what it is.
What are you
Where's
talking
Adolf?
about?
Oh, there he is.
Adolf.
Adolf is my
His
goldfish
name's
with a
not Adolf.
mustache.
It's Charlie Chaplin.
There's a disclaimer on this site it doesn't tell you which animals, but it says don't release your pets into the wild. That really doesn't help. I mean, it's good advice, but I mean, it didn't answer my question like I thought it might. They were referring to goldfish.
I have a
Goldfish.
My goldfish has a mustache.
His name's
We have a goldfish named Kevin.
It's not Charlie.
It's not Adolf.
It's
What do you
Adolf.
think our
It's
fish is
Kevin.
about?
Kevin.
Kevin.
What? Yeah. Has a mustache.
And that's not his name.
Should have named him Charlie Chaplin. Come on.
That's
Fuck.
exactly, Conrad. His name's Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, there we go.
Whatever.
He did not name his goldfish Adolf.
Is it birds? It's sharks.
Sharks.
It's sharks.
Alligator.
We have sharks in the Allegheny River, in case you didn't know.
Is that what we're talking about? Like that local?
We don't have piranhas.
Like when you say local, do you mean this country or this like
we do in North
Town?
Park.
You guys
I doubt they're still there.
They're just geniuses.
Are they saying
We did have piranhas.
This has been like normally the random shit happens at the beginning of the stream, not like halfway through. So
Halfway through it,
This is the beginning of for us.
halfway through it, the
Right.
wheels fell off the bus.
I forgot about the piranha.
right.
We just
You
went
get a whole gang of fools.
alligators?
I could have got my toes chomped off.
I think I don't know. Mountain lions travel.
Yeah,
Cougars,
we have those
they
here.
travel.
We have everything there.
I
Elephant.
swear I've seen
It's elephants, man.
one in
Hey,
London.
it's elephant.
livestock?
Everyone says it was a bobcat.
Not
I don't know
really.
what bobcat.
Like chickens won't even in your yard.
Well,
No,
lizards, they
unless
travel.
you are traveling.
The DNR don't want to admit we have mountain lions in Michigan. Been like so many sightings with like photographic proof, but their main reason is because once they recognize that they're here, they also will have to do more studies on them, spend more money, you know.
What?
So they just mainly tell people they're passing. They're not native to Michigan. They just pass through it, the whole state.
No, the answer's got to be sharks. I'm sure we've had one in our river.
Bull shark.
I still haven't seen a bear, but someone posted a
Great
picture of
ones
one.
migrate from Australia all the way to this side of the country. So like bull sharks, huh?
What about land sharks?
Land shark. No, I'd say bull sharks are like the one animal that can literally travel around the whole world with no limits.
Okay.
Whales.
That's my answer. I didn't get a direct question, but that's my answer. I'm
Salmon.
sticking to it.
Allegheny whitefish travel far.
Yeah.
I was like, yep, I know that 100%. My whole soul, I knew it my whole
That's
life.
straight over my head. Yep. That's what happens when I have no idea what you said. Yep.
No one's like releasing gators in Allegheny County anymore.
Not as far as we know.
No, that guy got stopped from buying a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff.
Not yet.
No. As long as he ain't allowed in shows, he can't buy nothing.
Yeah, you notice that since they
Wait, they actually found out who released
No,
it?
I know who he is, and so does a lot of people. Same person like Cobra.
No, it's a
There was a
gaboon now.
No, The cobra was the old lady killed the cobra.
But he has a baboon now.
No, he had a rattlesnake, and he was holding it weird.
That was a baboon.
No, it's a rattlesnake.
I don't know.
But yeah,
Well, now I'm gonna have to like go stalk Facebook of like people. On,
Apparently, I need
you won't
to
find
too.
them.
Hey, where's the doctor?
I scroll too fast.
I'll just jump in the venomous group. There's a picture of him.
Yeah, I was gonna say you take
Alright, So, anything you want to work, like anything you're looking forward to working with this year, or like that you
Well, actually, huh?
I don't know. I'm just trying to start a conversation.
You missed that whole conversation.
Yeah,
I
I was
Conrad,
like, oh, what exciting projects you got on? I'm like, Conrad already asked that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I told Conrad earlier, I actually shut down breeding in January. I went, I'm going to quickly graze over this because I'll get really upset.
Yeah.
My horse passed and it was pretty devastating for me. So I just decided that I was done with this season. I still had a couple girls go, and actually my big pied female that's on the logo of my company, she actually is still breeding. I think actually because her season's a little bit later than what everybody else's is. So I decided to keep pairing her, and she is breeding. She just went off food. So I'm hoping that maybe in the next month or two she might go. But otherwise than that, I'm probably only going to have I have 2 clutches in the incubator right now. I may get another clutch or 2 before the season's over, but that's going to be it for me this year. I'm just working more or less on building next year's projects. I have a couple girls that I'm growing up, some hypo stuff, some desert ghost stuff, some blackhead stuff. So, I mean, getting there.
Yeah,
real cool.
Jamie
I'm always
just asked if you keep any venomous.
Yeah, and I'm always working on my stranger stuff. So that's always.
Yeah. What was that, Conrad?
Oh God!
Jamie's wondering if you keeping venomous.
I do not keep any
Can you
venomous.
guys hear me?
Video live demo.
Okay. I can't talk to like.
Well, you started like
I
glitching over there.
don't know.
Yeah.
You look like
Your
Yeah,
mouth
I
was
don't-
moving, but no words were coming out.
Mine?
Yeah,
Really?
I can't trust myself with venomous. I'd end up getting bit. I'd be on the 6 o'clock news. So I mean,
I love venomous stuff, but like I've said before, I got kids, and
Yeah.
if I could dedicate a whole room and lock it up, and no, I wouldn't get into that.
yeah, and that's when I first started getting into reptiles. That was one of my main reasons. My daughter comes in my reptile room a good bit. Like, I don't want to be like, no, you can't. She wants to be. I mean, she's starting to be less involved because she's a teenager. So I'm losing that battle. But when she was littler, she wanted to be in there with me all the time, and that's not something that I wanted to be like. You can't come in because I have certain animals that you can't deal with. So I do love venomous. I love king cobras. They're one of my favorites. And I love squams. I absolutely love squams because they look like mini dragons. But I just can't keep them. Well, I have to appreciate everybody else that does.
Like I always say, that's when I go to Dylan's.
Yeah, I know. I need to make it out there to his place.
It's nice.
Yeah, I really like his setup. It's always a good time.
Yeah, he's got like a huge.
He's got.
It looks pretty spacious.
Mm-hmm.
He was just talking about he was going to add on and build even more.
Yeah.
Which I'd love to see that.
Oh, hi.
I guess you need tons of space if you're working with venomous anyways. You like,
Yeah.
like. No, that's how you get bit. You can't move.
I think there's still always going to be the gaboons and stuff. And like I said, just with kids, it's a risk that's not worth taking.
Yeah, I agree.
Why do you catch lake beans?
Because you're allergic to them.
Uh-huh.
Forget it.
Go away.
That happens a lot, honestly.
What?
Like I blank out. I forgot what I was gonna say. I think I'm gonna have like dementia. Like,
Yeah, that's not good.
Was it day one of Alzheimer's? Day one of Alzheimer's?
Do you guys watch TikTok at all?
Yeah.
No.
No?
don't.
Dude,
It's sick.
it's such a trap. Don't
I
die.
had a TikTok.
Yeah.
And,
My daughter's
maybe
on
we
that
could, like-
all the time.
Yeah. Once you watch one video, you're there for 4 hours. There's like no stopping it.
Yeah, you fall into the wormhole. It's the same
Yeah.
thing with like YouTube or
Yeah.
any of that stuff. You're just like,
You can't stop.
especially when you watch it in like full screen and your clock isn't there anymore, and then like you're like, where did 4 hours go?
And then that guy pops up watching for a really long time. We suggest you take a break. And you're like, it's been like 10 minutes.
Yeah, you're like, it's not been that long.
What are you talking about? They're only 1 minute videos.
Yeah.
How many did I watch?
Oh, I feel
So Keith, what do you have coming up?
You can be like binge watching like Trailer Park Boys or something funny, and like next thing you know, they'll be asking if you're still there. Oh yeah, I started the show 10 minutes ago.
What was that?
Keith, what do you got working this coming season for you?
Right now we have a spider to a super pastel calico. We got eggs in the
Okay.
incubator, and then some carpet python eggs in there. Or jungle jag to. It'll be a mystery. We
Okay.
kind of did some dual pairing there. And then I have the pied and another pastel, which haven't laid yet. Not sure what's going on, so kind of just waiting to see. They're still refusing food, but nothing really I don't know. And we'll see.
Okay.
But yeah. Other than that, I think that's it this year. We're maybe king snakes, maybe not. That's a challenge. I don't know. You want some king snakes?
No, we were just Conrad and I were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
I love colubrids, but I hate cleaning up after them because they go constantly.
Yeah, they're disgusting, and they're always one is constantly getting water everywhere, and I don't know how. The bowl never tips over, but there's
water everywhere.
But the bowl.
So so my question, because I know king snakes are, they eat other snakes. So then how do you even go about breeding them when that's a liability?
That's a good question. So far, they haven't ate each other. You're supposed to do it short increments at a time and keep an eye on them. You don't leave them in there for a day or two like you would any other snake. I haven't caught any locks, but they really don't show an interest in each other either. So,
Oh, that one. I thought they locked up
no,
the first time.
no, she wrapped around him, but it wasn't like a lock. I don't know. I'm not sure. Learning
I tried
experience.
eating them.
We're just throwing some shit together and hopefully something comes.
They're both still alive, so that's good.
Well,
They didn't
that's
eat
a
each
bonus.
other. But yeah, it's tricky, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of
The ball pythons you just throw together and walk away and call it a day.
Right.
These guys
You're like,
are
good luck, buddy.
everywhere. She's going up out of the tub. He's going down into her tub. They don't know what to do. It's a mess.
Hear the kids roaring in the back.
Yeah, Kellen is halting, beating up Alex. Oh, get down.
So you can get down too.
Yeah.
I'm putting my bets on Kellen.
Alex?
So
What?
I'm putting my bets on Kellen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Alex gets beat up by everyone. I was always. That's why I'm so small.
Yeah.
I completely understand that, though. I do. I'm with him 100%. I always get beat up by everyone, so.
We'll start placing money bets.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll just have like a cage with me fighting little kids. Go all in.
Have one on each arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, baby.
She's the best.
He. This is the he.
Oh, that's the he.
That's the he.
Oh, it's
It's
that's
pooping.
not- Wait, is that just shed? Pink.
I don't do colubrids.
I don't really. Hello.
Megan was just saying that she couldn't read the words because of how much they poop. And here he goes. He tries to take him out. Oh, he's pooping.
Yeah.
So I'm good with cleaning cages 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I don't trust her.
You're so
This is
welcome.
one of them. Just lift the bell. I don't know if the camera picks it up that well.
Let me
Oh wow.
I learned how to work StreamYard a little.
We're gonna play our
Yep.
game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep.
There's that.
You have fun with that.
Josh gets musked right in the face. He's like,
She never did that before. Showing off for the camera. I never did trust her, but she never like acted crazy like that. So I don't know.
Yep. They stink.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a 15-foot berm piss on me than a colubrid piss on you a little bit.
mm,
That
Smells
smell,
the same.
it does not smell the
Smells the
same.
same.
Does not.
No.
7
it's
foot.
still a lot of pee though.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
No, you can wash off snake piss and shit. You cannot wash off whatever the fuck
It's like a musk.
musk is.
I don't know.
You do it too.
I don't know, man. Pink
Smells the
stinks.
same.
You're the only one that gets
No, it doesn't.
No, I'm talking about mine.
Yeah,
It
Carmela
smells-
shop it. It smelled like
It smelled this exact
I don't know.
same.
Yeah.
But they
I'd say
Garfield
worse.
pissed on my back. That was
I'd
pretty
say
bad.
worse, but
I think musk smells a lot worse than like retitch.
Yeah.
I,
I agree.
beautiful, but it's broken.
that's why most of my herping's hands off, honestly. That's why I just like taking my camera out there because I'd rather not get musked
so bad.
because
Yeah.
I decided to
Owl. What did he say?
It's just,
you know.
no,
I've been pretty lucky this season so far. I haven't been musked once, but I know I'm going to be.
She's yelling. I don't know what he said. Do you know what Brad said whenever he pulled her out?
No.
I forget.
I think he said she was yelling. I don't know why.
But whatever he said, I was like,
Brad
yeah.
uses terms from like the 80s.
See that snake? She's hollering.
She's screaming.
She's a loud one. Okay.
Yeah. Brad's always fun.
Yeah.
So Keith, are you gonna be with us next week for the streams?
I haven't got my schedule yet.
All right.
Like I know I work, but I don't know when.
I think we gotta try and pull off 2.
That's the same answer I got. So
2.
Close. Yeah, because like the last 2,
We don't have to.
3 weeks.
No.
You don't have to.
You do one a
But
week.
then I'd like have to like fuck around the whole
Right.
schedule.
Megan, what do you think? You do one a
What?
week, right? One live stream a week.
Yeah, I mean that's
But-
I know your guys' schedule is all
Yeah. So you try to stick to one a week.
All right. Yeah, but then I just have to like get a hold of
You can do a second one.
Look, you probably did great. I'm actually gonna go and rewatch to see how you did.
No,
Oh my
I
God.
did do great. I did fucking horrifying. Yeah, Megan, she's like, oh my god, what is this shit? She even said, she's like, "You're horrible at this. I thought Josh and Keith were gonna do it." And I'm like, "Yeah, me too." And you know,
It's like, hey, you. Now I would
hey,
stick with the 1 a
you
week.
two.
Yeah. You want to stick to a steady schedule.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because if you try to do multiple and then people's schedules don't line up, then it's gonna get, it'll get pushed. If you stick to 1 a week and people's schedules have to change and you have to kind of move it around or jump it around, then it's not so bad. But then, if you're doing multiples and it has to get pushed, and then your next one is like the next day, just
See, thank you.
Yeah.
Carter's like, oh, we missed one last week. We have to do 3 this week. I'm like,
no, but like instead of so for example, we missed that one week, so I pushed him back to the following week, and then he couldn't do that, and then like GR Bliss couldn't do this week, so we bumped Megan up this week, and now I got like 2 that I still got to fill in for that.
we have. You realize we have months.
I don't
We have
think
years.
the road may seem like it's ending, but I don't think it is.
It's really not. Oh,
what is that?
It doesn't.
This is my retic. One of them. I have 2. Hey, get out of there. My dog's like, oh, look, an empty bin. Hi, baby. So this is my Sunfire Dwarf white phase.
They're just so much more interactive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He will. I won't keep him out long because he'll trash everything behind me.
Right. They
Trip with us.
don't even stop when they are satisfied with that.
No.
Hey, how's it going?
who's he talking?
I think go by. I think
Oh.
Here, come here.
Come on.
Come on the stream.
He's more worried about his YouTube.
Come
Oh,
here.
you gotta say bye. There you go.
There you go. It blends in with the wall.
Here, just put him closer to the camera. Can you see him now?
Yes.
Did you pee?
Just all the way up.
Stop feeding those kids. They're huge.
What?
Yeah, you're gonna have to like bump the feeding schedule back a little bit.
What?
Maybe a cat feeds the water.
Bump his feeding schedule back. Try feeding him like once a week or something.
See ya.
You're overfeeding the kid.
Yeah, you're.
What time is it?
Gotta put him on a treadmill.
Oh my god, could you imagine if people just started like commenting on like, when you like see a post of a snake in some groups, people are like, oh my god, that snake's overweight. Could you imagine if people criticized other people's kids half as much as they do other people else, just with like the same comments? How ridiculous that would sound. Oh, dude, I swear people would have swollen faces a lot more.
Can anybody tell me what kind of kid this is? Was found under the steps.
Oh my god.
Good God.
Oh no. Oh no.
Is this poisonous?
Oh Jesus. That's eye twitch right there.
Just don't eat it. Don't eat my kid, please.
You know what? It also kills me when like people cut the heads off of snakes and then they're like, "Is this venomous?" I'm like, "Why are you asking after the fact?"
Yeah, it doesn't matter now.
Right. Well, why don't you stick your finger in its mouth now and find out.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta go.
Alrighty.
Later.
All right. Hey, Josh, you gonna be online tonight?
I will see you at the show then.
Yep.
Well,
You got it.
Yeah, maybe me. I think I'm gonna try.
Definitely.
Yeah. But
Are you guys vending or are you coming down?
just coming to check it out.
Okay. Alrighty, sounds good.
We are waiting on displays right now from Dreamco.
Oh, they're great peeps.
Yep.
Great peeps.
Yep. So hopefully have them here soon.
All right, take care, Josh.
Scott Hollabaugh said, "See you on the 7th." Scott, you like tuned in way late. Like Megan was praising you earlier, and you had like, man, what?
I know.
Come on, you should have been on here earlier.
Scott's here.
Yeah, Scott's here.
Man, that guy. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, no one had anything nice to say, so you might want to go back.
Send him the link.
I don't know.
Send him the link.
Send him the link.
Send him the link. All right, Scott, hold on. Well, you have the link. I don't.
Oh.
Let me see if I'll fuck you, Keith.
I don't know what direction to go. This way. This way.
All right, hold on. Keith's gonna send you the link.
I can't find his name. Hold on.
A surprise visit from Scott Hollabaugh?
Yeah.
No way.
Drum roll. Blah 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 blah. I can't see.
Mommy.
I can't see.
I love you too.
Oh, it's fucking- All right, hold on. I'll hit him up. I think I got him. You got him?
What? Yeah, I sent it to him.
He don't like you. Here, watch your effort for a minute. You're gonna take a bath. Exactly.
Where's my buddy Kellen? He said.
Here, come here. He said, let's say hi to Scott.
Come.
Let's say hi, Scott. Hi, Scott. Hi, Scott.
Say hi. Say hi, Scott. What's up? Yeah.
He's being spider.
You being shy? You being shy, Spider Man?
Say, bud.
Great content.
Yep.
Oh,
There you go.
where did you send the link? You said
Facebook.
Facebook Messenger.
So what kind of snakes
Just
do you have?
throw it in the comments so anyone can join. That
So,
would be bad.
oh yeah, everyone
thought about
joining
it.
in.
Oh.
Hey,
What's your favorite kind of snake?
Big butter.
Okay. Sure. We'll go with that.
California garter.
No.
That's probably the closest one.
What about? He likes macchiato
Yeah.
and the sand boas.
It's butter.
He
It's butter.
But you're afraid of spiders.
No. No, I think I'm more butter.
Yes, you are afraid of the spiders.
My big butter.
Who you shooting?
The spiders.
No. Hey.
Buttermilk. Buttermilk.
Oh, there's Scott right there. Hold on.
Look, there he is. Say what's up.
I said.
What's up, buddy?
Hey.
Hi, Dad.
What are you doing?
You done now?
What are you doing here?
I'm in here. I'm hiding inside your screen. Shake my hand.
You bite it there.
What?
Like,
Shake my hand.
Yeah.
handshake.
Shake
Wrap
it.
him up.
Come on.
He's trying.
He's doing it.
High five.
Bye.
High five.
Bye.
Get you up. Found it.
Bye.
Found it.
Good luck.
Found it.
Pound it. You gotta pound it.
Look.
Hulk!
Hulk smash!
Spider-Man! You guys are gonna have to get him his own channel soon.
I know.
Yeah.
He figure out how to pedal that bike yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. You're the Hulk. Oh, are you gonna bring him to school on the 7th?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right, good.
My soul.
You want to go there?
I'll
You
put
know
him to
reptile
work.
show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Dinosaur.
Talent show.
Helen show.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's over.
Right. Kellen just put us out of business.
We've been overrun.
He's taking it over.
No.
No.
Somehow he doesn't have any snakes.
Stop.
Huh?
Somehow he doesn't have any snakes.
I don't know. Ask him.
Uh-oh, there's Sonic.
You got poop.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. Go potty. Jesus.
Are you all coming to the show on the 7th?
Or wait, actually, I don't even know if I work that day.
I would if I was in Pennsylvania.
Hi, Static.
Oh, what? No, Conrad.
Where are you at?
Right. Yeah, I would definitely show up if I was in
Michigan.
Pennsylvania, but I can't.
Well,
Yeah.
where are you at?
No.
Traverse City, Michigan.
That
Like
ain't that
way
far.
up. Okay. It's
Stop it.
okay, I'm like right here.
Right here.
I'm right here. yeah, right there.
No.
Oh.
Jamie wants to know if the show's still being held outside. She
No,
said that.
it's gonna be moved inside. I like it. It's gonna be it's gonna be a restricted show. They're gonna try to do it alphabetically, and split it up into 4 sections, but that's only a recommendation, not a mandate. Basically, there's going to be an allotment of people that can come in at a time. So, if there's 200 people standing in line at the beginning of the show, they're not all going to get in right away. The vendors are going to be set up. They're going to be spaced apart. So instead of having 60 vendors, we'll probably have 30 to 40 vendors so that they can be split apart. We are going to be in the green by next Friday. Or by Sunday, we'll be in the green. It's going to start on Friday. So that is going to probably allow us a 250-person gathering, I think is what it will be, which is a hell of a lot better than 25.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why we can move it inside, because we can actually have a show where there will be a decent amount of people inside. So we literally just found out that we were going to be able to have the show inside today. The governor announced the green by next Friday, which allowed the owner of the Harmer House to allow us to move inside. So
Now, are they going to be Are they going to be
we still
restricting
have-
how many people are allowed to come in at a time, or?
Yeah. So basically, there will be a number. We average anywhere between 1,000 to 1,500 people for the show over the day. So if we're only allowed 250 people in the show at a time, that's why they're suggesting the alphabet, like A through G from 9 to 11, and then from 11 to 1, and then from 1 to 3. They're suggesting it, but that's not going to be mandatory. But if, there's 250 people in the show, they're going to have to wait at the door to come in. And then when 2 people go out, 2 people can come in, so on and so forth. It's really going to depend on what number the governor puts in place next Friday when the actual order comes down. They might set it per square feet. They might, it all depends really on how he sets up the amount of people per event. Obviously, we're not going to be able to open the door and let in 500 people right off the bat. But there will be extra space allotted in the show because the vendors will be split apart further. So basically, 1 table will be 2, 2 tables will be 4, 4 tables will be 8. So if you're a vendor that normally has 2, your space is going to be the size of 4 because there has to be space between you and the people next to you.
Yeah.
Because you are going to have people at your table looking, and obviously we're going to try to abide by the rules as much as possible, but people will be people.
Ain't that the truth?
Jamie just said that may be nice with how packed that place can get normally. So
Yeah.
Well, I was just in West Virginia, and you don't even have to have a mask on to go in anywhere. It's completely your choice. And some of the restaurants have indoor seating. They have basically what they've done is they close off like every other booth, so that you can't sit next to anybody. So it obviously limits their amount of seating, but hey, at least they're open and letting people in the door.
Right.
right.
But you're up there in Michigan with the
that's how
fucking governor.
Yeah, she's it's kind of insane. Like she even at first her order, like she stopped everyone from voting.
Because that's not social distancing.
You couldn't even take your boat out of it. And like Michigan's like 100% water, so
I mean,
it's been.
There was that lake over Memorial Day weekend that literally was like the size of a postage stamp and had like 1.2 million boats on it that literally you could just walk across the lake from boat to boat. It was ridiculous. Yeah, it was insane.
That would be nuts. Yeah, so I'm in northern Michigan. We haven't been hit that hard yet, but we're
it's still fucking winter up
there. Oh man, it's like 80 degrees here. I'm like dying. It's been hot. But it what did she do? She closed everything down, and then like since we didn't get hit, like downstate, the Detroit area got hit really hard. And since we didn't get hit super hard, she's opening up like portions of the state at a time. So now we're seeing like all this travel up into northern Michigan. Now they're seeing like even more cases than they ever have before. So it's super cool.
Sounds like a good time.
So like, yeah, instead of just opening up the whole state, now everyone wants to come here and
So did I miss anything good?
I just got here.
Yeah, Keith was fashionably late.
Yeah.
Were you working?
No, we were just out running around. And
They were fucking off.
Josh was out at Brad, so.
Oh, yeah, well, then that's always a process.
Yeah, you can't ever just go there and leave. It doesn't.
No. You got to block out like a good solid 2-3 hours.
Definitely.
You guys weren't social distancing then, is what you're telling me?
Of course we were. Of course.
I had a buddy I stopped out at 2 days ago, and he used to be big into reptiles, but he's moved on to like big aquatic, like river monsters and big fish and stuff. And I just stopped over there to say hi, you know, because he had some surgery done recently and stuff. And you know, I was on my mow route, and we didn't even get to really finish mowing that day because we ended up bullshitting with him for like 2-3 hours, you know. So I'm like, oh man,
That's how you run a business.
yeah, that's how you run a business. We finished it out today, but
Sometimes conversation's what's needed.
yeah, oh yeah, that's for sure. Sure, he hasn't had like too many people spend time with.
It's crazy. Well, what's the plan?
I don't know. Probably basic.
I'm just reading the comments real quick.
Oh, God.
Hey, fuck off.
Go back to like the beginning.
Here, that's for you up in the corner.
Which corner? There's like
Not yours.
There's one.
your corner. This one over here.
It's a box, so.
But yeah, I mean, we've been live for like an hour and a half now. So Jamie wants to know what shoes you're wearing.
Right now?
Yeah.
Hold on.
You guys feed the cat because Toretto was in the dog food bucket. Yeah.
Now, does it match the watch?
Here.
Something matches.
That's cute.
They're for the beach.
Those are the Laney 5s. Does it match the watch? No, actually, we broke out the limited edition cupcake watch today from G-Shock. You won't find that one too many places. There's not many of them out there.
Pat, you're gonna have to hop on one of these days and talk more about Iceman Reptiles and all the educational shows you do.
Yeah, we need to probably do it on a different night than a Friday night.
Yeah.
Probably do that.
Yeah. Keith always tells me that we need to figure out. And Josh is like, no, Fridays work out perfect. He's like, no, you want to do it on like a Sunday night or like a Tuesday night or some oddball fucking night.
Basically.
We'll figure it out. We'll get it set up soon.
Cool.
And Jamie says, haha, knew you'd show him off. But all right, guys, I think we're going to call that a wrap. It's what, like 10:30? I really need to pee. I'm not even going to throw.
All right. Well, listen, you guys all have a good night, and we'll see you at the show on the 7th.
All right.
Well, except for you, because you'll be stuck in Michigan.
Yeah, the governor's cool. Like,
Yeah. Well, hey, the governor doesn't have anything to do with it. You get your ass in a car and drive to Pittsburgh. They're not stopping you.
oh man, it's a long ass drive. I do plan on making a trip out there, so I'll have to do it around I'll have to plan around all these shows.
All right. Well, Christmas is coming too, so.
Wait, you guys have a show during Christmas? Or did that go over my fucking head? Yeah.
That went over your head, Conrad.
That went over my fucking head pretty well. So.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Christmas
all right,
show
guys.
in July.
Jesus.
I need sleep.
He doesn't know me very well yet, does he?
No.
No,
Uh-uh.
no, it's gonna be fun though.
All right. Well, be safe and good luck with your governor up there in Michigan.
Yeah, yeah. We've so many people support her and so many people don't. And I just try and stay out of politics because I lose my
Yeah. Politics are like Russian roulette.
Yeah. I'll end up shooting myself in the head eventually if I keep talking.
All right. Well, listen. At least I made it in for the last few minutes, but I will talk to you guys soon. And Conrad, hit me up if you're not on my page yet. And
I know we're friends on Facebook, so yeah, I'll have
Okay.
to shoot you a message. We'll figure out something to schedule because I know Josh. I'm like, Josh, you need to get Scott on here. He's like, yeah, man, but I want to wait until like yada yada. You keep playing it off. So I don't know.
I know he mentioned it to me last time I was over there. So
Yeah, I know he's always talking about all the cool shit he buys from me too. So
yeah, Josh doesn't buy anything from me. He must be bullshitting. This is the first time in like the last 3 years he doesn't have a bill.
It is. You gotta sell him something.
I know, right? And you too.
Maybe.
I got a snake.
I don't need to buy anything. Josh had already bought everything.
No, there's a snake you need.
Is there?
Yeah, I think there's a female white lip upstairs that needs to be in your collection. See
Dude,
that?
Josh did tell me about that one.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
touche, huh?
We'll talk.
yeah, go well with that male southern white lip that you guys can't find female for.
Yeah.
I've always got something those two need. They can't deny that.
No, no.
Man.
Josh straight up told me every time he's at your house, he ends up mainly bringing something home. So
He
They
plans
haven't
it out.
even been over to see the babies I have right now, or they would definitely want some.
yeah,
But
when I come out
they'll
when I
they'll
come
be
out
at
to
the show on the
Pittsburgh, we'll
7th.
have to come out there too. So
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys. You guys all have a good night. We'll talk soon.
all right, you guys
Bye,
too.
man.
All right. Well, have a good night, Megan. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. We'll have to do it again.
It was fun, and like there was a bunch of unexpected shit that happened on the street.
Always. I'm just, I know Keith and Josh, so I'm always prepared for whatever. So
Yeah, I haven't.
no surprise.
I've talked to Keith in like the past 3 weeks, but I haven't like physically like laid eyes on him because he's been so busy. Yeah, so it like warmed my heart to see him.
Yeah.
I have been super busy, but it should slow down soon.
Good.
Oh,
Well,
speaking
we'll have
of
to do
which,
this again, you guys.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll see you at the show.
Yeah, I'll
Hopefully
be there.
I don't work all day that day. That would suck.
Yeah, I hope not either.
So we'll see.
speaking of venom and everything, I forgot to tell you guys. Spencer Green, Dr. Spencer Green, the leading venom expert in the States, will be coming on sometime.
Nice.
Oh.
Sweet.
That'll be awesome.
Oh yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to him. Pretty stoked about it. But, all right, yeah, we might as well call that a wrap. Like, I really need a pee.
All right, we'll let Conrad off so that he can go to the bathroom.
See you later.
All right.
All right, see you guys.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Have fun.
We'll see you. Yeah. Hey.
Ciao.
Hey.
What?
You need to be on next week. I think we're having Mike Clarkson on, and I want to I don't know, I want to get caught up, but I guess we can just fuck around and move people around a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I gotta get my schedule. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I hope I get it tomorrow because after tomorrow, I don't know what time I work Sunday. So.
Oh. Yeah, well, they kind of need to give you your schedule.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea. All right. Peace
All
out.
right. Well, peace out. Later. Bye, guys. We're stop streaming there. End broadcast. End broadcast.